guys? Today we're back with another banger. Oh my god, what am I doing? Well, today as you can see, we're doing a reaction stream. I was just live a little bit ago, but I mean, why not go live again? From the screen to the ring, to the pen, to the king. From the screen to the ring, to the pen, to the king. Okay. Let's go. Lock in. Alright. Lock in. Lock in, chat. Alright. So Phantom, text me as I goon. Oh my god. Sorry, the computer's being super slow. It's not very good, so. There. Okay.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down.
Oh my god. Work. There.
Because today we're talking about trick-or-treating. Halloween used to be a fun time.
And I've heard people say I don't have bad internet.
When you were younger, you used to walk around with your friends, go to school, everyone was dressed up in creepy costumes, and people would compliment your costume, you'd feel like a big man. Walk around with your friends afterwards, go get candies, and reminisce on all the spooky things that happened during this time of year. But it seems kind of dead, doesn't it? I feel like the last couple of years, there's just no trick-or-treaters at all. It feels like a dead meme. Trick-or-treating is a thing of the past. And sure, you have trunk-or-treating, but goddamn, that doesn't count for anything. If I'm gonna go walk around a parking lot for a bit.
I'm being honest when I say this. Trunk-or-treating, trash. I've done it a couple times before. Never doing it again.
People's trunks. That. So today I wanted to talk about what the hell happened to trick-or-treating, right? What was some of the causes of trick-or-treating's demise? And no, I'm not going to talk about kids having cell phones and else probably. We might touch on that a little bit, but some people say it was the economy collapse in 2008. Really? People are going to stop eating Tootsie Rolls and dressing up as a goddamn werewolf because their mom and dad can't pay for a house? Doubtful. Doubtful. I think it's because the parents are too afraid to send their kids out into this crazy world. And hell, I think even kids are too afraid to go
Oh my god, why is it lagging so
Go out
bad?
into the crazy, crazy world. There's a lot of stories, a lot of crazy things seem to happen during this time of year, and a lot of dangerous things seem to happen as well. Let's go down the dark rabbit hole of the dangers of trick-or-treating. Today's video is sponsored by Pretty Litter. Do you have cats? I'll tell you what, I wish I didn't. At my house, we're always playing a fun game of where's that smell coming from? If you have cats at home that can't control their urine, like mine. Pretty Litter. Do you have cats? I'll tell you what, I wish I didn't. At my house, we're always playing a fun game of where's that smell coming from? If you have cats at home that can't control their urine, like mine, or if you wanted to find out more about the health of your cat's urine, you need Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter was developed by veterinarians and is a great way to monitor your cat at home. Pretty Litter has crystals that help absorb odor and moisture, keeping your house smelling fresh. And the litter will change colors based on the pH of your cat's urine, so you can monitor any potential health issues easily. Yellow and green litter is good to go, and orange and red or blue terrible in these shots, right?
I think I've read that they purposely wait.
Just a long time, so you're just tired as shit. Yeah. When questioned, Rex could not explain how the blades got to the children's baskets without being noticed. In what world could he like accidentally not stab the shit out of his hand by being like, oh my god, wait, there's razor blades in here. There's no way he can fumble around. Here you go, kids. Wait, what is that shiny metallic object that I just put into that kid's basket? I don't know.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of doubt. I think he went to Lowe's, got his candy there and razor blades, and then he just dumped the basket.
Why Lowe's for razor blades?
What?
Why Lowe's is your example? If anything, I thought you'd say he went to Walmart, he picked up all his fun-sized family bag of candies. He's like, I'm gonna give out candies this year. Usually I don't. I'm going to this year. I gotta clean up, I gotta shave. Picked up a bunch of razor blades. You know, whenever you get home, you have your bags of groceries on your counters, and then you're handling your, you know, it's all your goodies you bought. Ooh, I gotta, you know, you're snacking all the stuff you want to snack on. And then coincidentally, oh, not with the sleight of a hand, oops, in the bowl with the candy. That's probably what happened. He was ultimately charged with the risk of injury to a minor, reckless endangerment, and interfering with a police officer. His bond was set to $250,000. Luckily, no children were injured through the whole ordeal. Thank God. Which, you know, there are many reported instances of sharp metal objects being sneakily hidden inside candy wrappers and handed out to kids, which is a sentence that I never thought I would say. And I didn't think that it was that common, but apparently it is. And in one case, an 11-year-old was sent to the hospital after eating a foreign metal object hidden inside a Reese's peanut butter cup. If I had a nickel. If I had a dime every time that happened to me, dude. She was rushed to the hospital soon after to have it surgically removed. I don't know if did you eat the fucking Reese's putt in one fucking gulp? Goddamn, dude. bite into it.
Didn't even chew it.
Yeah.
I said that's a cool skin you got there.
Yeah, appreciate it, dude.
How do you get that skin? I thought you didn't pay money for this game.
Actually, don't. I use Buff Gaming.
What gaming? What's that?
It's pretty much this program you download, and then it runs in the background, gifts you for playing Fortnite, Overwatch, Fall Guys.
Do surgery on them and get money.
Yeah, I always imagine that every dentist is like sadistic. Like they love saying,
Oh, you have a cavity.
with like a machine, like some made up machine. They're like,
You have to fill it today.
put it on your deal and they're like rotating around, whatever. It looks like a fucking like Tim Burton device or something.
I have to get the cavity. It's very deep.
The townsfolk traced the tampered with candy back to Shine's place. The doctor was charged with several crimes, including outrage of public decency and an unlawful dispensing of drugs, which in 1959, you know, the guy was just like, hey, they pooped. They pooped. It's not a big deal. You shit every day. Look at you. God. People are so soft now. Becky ate a nail yesterday. They're like, those are nails, not pharmaceuticals, doctor. This is just one of the many rare stories that instilled fear in the minds of parents around the Halloween season. And these are the kind of stories, too, I can tell. Definitely, you'd say, well, did you hear about this one? Oh, like holding your daughter back. Oh, or what about her? Go home, run, go home. But in 2023, an 11-year-old child was given laced treats by a group of boys on electric scooters.
With ski mask on.
I think we call them hoodlums or thugs. One day in Christchurch, New Zealand, a schoolboy was trick-or-treating with his friends for the very first time in the suburb of Parkland with his mates. When he was picked up by his mother, she was told that the boy ate treats offered by random boys on the street. Red flag number one. I mean, imagine anybody. My age or what, even if my friend, if you came up to me and you're like, eat this, I'd be like, no. You know what I mean? What, random boy, ski mask on? Imagine someone like a masked person, eat this. Okay. I don't give a fuck how young I was. There's no way I would do that. Would you?
I did that to my friend. I gave him cat food, cat treat.
Did he eat it?
Yeah, he took a bite. He's like, what is this?
He couldn't smell that it was a cat treat?
They're really tiny.
Did they look like candy? I mean, they're probably coarse and they look like cat food, I would imagine.
They're like little stars and fish shaped.
But it probably looked like cat food though, right?
Probably.
As soon as he ingested the treat, his throat and mouth started to burning and his lips were tingling. Soon after, he started to have bad stomach pains. What the fuck? Did they give him like cyanide or something? God damn. Not knowing what was ingested, the mother began panicking. The child, who had serious allergies. Yeah, I like how he's like, I'm allergic to everything. Like, eat this. Okay, fine. I'm allergic to everything, but I'll eat whatever you tell me. He had serious allergies. Thought he was about to undergo anaphylactic shock. Choked to death. As the night progressed, the boy began to throw up repeatedly, and the stomach pains became more and more severe. And eventually, the mother's teenage daughter alerted her that there was talk of teenage boys putting laxatives in lolly cakes. What is up with laxatives, dude? Apparently, they had been handing them out all night to unsuspecting children. If I was a younger guy and I was like, I'm gonna give away the lollipops to kids and it's gonna make them shit their pants, on paper, pretty funny. In practice, horrible. Also, if your kid is like severe, let me just go off on this mom a little bit. If your kid is severely allergic to a bunch of different and he's like, I just ate something random. My stomach hurts. My lips are burning. Why would you just be like, well, we'll see what happens in a... Let's give it a few hours. We'll not rush him to the hospital. There's enough time for your teenage daughter to come home and be like, oh yeah, kids are putting like pharmaceuticals and lollipop. Oh, good, you're just going to poop for a while, sweetheart. Have a good night. The kid's like,
We can talk.
You know what? Let's give an award for worst mom so far of the year.
Have you ever drugged your friends?
No. Have you drugged your friends?
One friend.
Why?
Well, it was a month prior to my birthday. He like put caramel in my ear when I was sleeping, and I got a huge infection. So, for my birthday, I had my brother put sleeping pills in his drinks all night, so that he could fall asleep.
That sounds illegal.
We could fuck with him. Well, he never fell asleep, but yeah, it was illegal.
You and your friend group sound miserable. Caramel in your ear? That sounds fucking awful as well.
Well, I was at the birthday party. The rule was whoever fell asleep, everyone gets the with. I had a tummy ache.
Don't say tummy. I would have put caramel in your ear too, dude. My tummy hurts still, but don't mess with me. I'd be like, I'm f***ing with that guy. In 2017, a mother from Florida discovered a prescription painkiller, tramadol, in her 3-year-old son's candy bag after attending a Treat Street event. God damn, once again, it's like we're on the same street. You know what I mean? Which one of you put fucking tramadol in my son's Tootsie-Roll wrapper? The Riverview Chamber of Commerce claims that after 29 years of running the event, this has never happened that we know of, right? They believe that it was merely an accident rather than a malicious or intentional act.
It's a painkiller. It's probably over the counter. Just
Oh, I'm sorry, he's gonna feel good for a while. They'd bring in some like weird gossiping. You know what I mean? We hear you yelling at your husband, Teresa, so he probably needs it. In 2023, a prescription drug, clonazepam pill, was found in their child's Halloween candy. Clonazepam is used to treat panic or anxiety attacks. It was found on a plastic bag decorated with candy corn, quote, along with various pieces of mixed candy.
it's just loose candy.
It's just loose, unwrapped candy and a candy corn bag. Halloween is here. Once again, no culprit was found. Oh, of course, why not? But the Sireville Police Department made a statement on Facebook warning people to examine their children's candy. If you're not doing that already, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Come on. I don't think my mom ever, I don't think he ever did. I remember one time I think I took up like what was those hard candies that had the fucking strawberry wrapper?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those hard candies? I unwrapped one of them. There was like fucking long black hair wrapped around it. What my fat ass did, I just... You know what I mean? Sick for 3 days afterwards. Oh, too much sugar. Not realize I probably just ate like pubic hair or something. In the year 2000, police began an investigation over the discovery of Snicker bars crammed with bags of marijuana. On Halloween night, at least 9 Snicker...
I could see you doing like laxatives, but like that. Bye. Oh. Jesus, I just realized how bad the mic was. But yeah, why? Like, Jesus. Jesus, I just realized how bad the mic was. Oh my God, like, why would you...
Snicker bars were filled with marijuana and passed out to unknowing trick-or-treaters in Hercules. The police had a few leads to follow, but ultimately were not able to find the source. How is it possible that just no one is found? No one comes forward. Every time. The next one where if they don't find the next one, I'm rage quitting. In 2018, 2 parents were sent to the hospital after eating meth-laced Halloween candy. God damn. Now that's a fucking trick-or-treat right there. Holy shit. You just got tricked. You know what I mean? We gave you the candy. Why are you tricking us? You just got tricked. The Oregon Sheriff's Office made a statement about Halloween candy reportedly being altered in the Aloha community. While the family was trick-or-treating, they ate a packet of Sour Patch Kids and began to feel sick. The leftover candies were taken in for an investigation and were tested positive for presence of methamphetamine. Fortunately, none of their children ingested any of the laced candy, which I think is unfair. I think we've got to go down as a family. If daddy and mommy eat a piece of meth Sour Patch Kids, then I think the children should as well. Only fair. Who bought you the costume? Daddy and mommy did. A police sheriff in 2022 shared his story of being forced to eat LSD-laced candy when he was a young child. On Halloween Day, a 6-year-old Andrew Brunson attended a trick-or-treat fair to play games and go on rides. While there, he encountered a bizarre adult that repeatedly insisted he eat a piece of candy he had in his hand.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters in the most extensive vehicle combat.
Repeatedly.
Like he was was feeding a fucking horse, dude. It's just right there. Eat it. You're hungry, aren't you? He went so far as to open it up himself and put it in his mouth. Being a child, he ate the candy without giving it much thought. He's like... Brunson ended up in the hospital after his mother saw him unconscious on the ground. Today, the police sheriff urges parents to be aware of where their kids are on Halloween and to walk in the neighborhoods during the daytime. POV, someone's giving you candy and they're like, and then it's just black. And you wake up and you're like,
That's horrifying.
that's absolutely horrifying. That's so fucked up. It was Halloween, 1964, when 13-year-old Elsie Drucker and her 15-year-old sister Irene were almost killed from ingesting arsenic hidden inside of Halloween candy. While sorting through the Halloween candy, 2 ant buttons were discovered. These are tools used to kill insects and pesticides, all that kind of shit, right? The community was alerted of this, leading to 19 more ant buttons to be discovered in other houses in the neighborhood. With the help of the 2 children, the police were able to trace the toxic treats to the home of a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Field. Finally, we get justice of all these motherfuckers, dude. Finally, we get a face! Especially a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Field, but didn't have anything better to do. We got too many ant buttons. I don't got any more ants, you take them. She was charged with child endangerment and held the risk of facing prison time. As you probably should, what the fuck? Yeah. Wait, so I'm really gonna go to the big house for this one? Yeah. According to Field's husband, the whole thing was a joke. What a hoot and a holler. Helen, however, had a strange motive behind her actions. She told the courtroom that she, quote, didn't mean it maliciously and intentionally handed out the poisonous treats to people who should have already aged out of the activity. I gave it to other people who I thought were too old trick-or-treating. What? As it turned out, Helen was also handing out dog biscuits and steel wool as well. Hilariously enough, Helen's husband spent Halloween night trick-or-treating with her teenage sons, who were likely older than the people she divvied out the poison to. Field was forced to undergo 60 days in a psychiatric hospital as a result of her heinous actions. Throw her in the loony bin. Exactly. They were ant buttons! Helen pleaded guilty in the middle of her trial, but her case was ultimately suspended and was chalked up to a mere stupidity rather than genuine malice, which is so this is like 1960s justice. She's a crazy broad. Not again. All right, Helen. He's like, like all spazzed out and hair all. She's like, no problem, Your Honor. Judge Thomas M. Stark said, I don't understand why she had done such a stupid thing as this, but I feel incarceration is not the answer. What a man of the people, a political beacon of justice. But one of the most tragic instances of Halloween laced candy was that of Ronald O'Brien, dubbed the man who killed Halloween. It was a rainy Halloween night in 1974. Ronald O'Brien went out trick-or-treating with his children near his home in Deer Park suburb of Houston. They joined the Bates family as their 2 kids traveled as a group. Nice family out, nice Halloween night, right? The rain had poured so intensely that the night had to end early. Before bed, Timothy requested a treat, to which O'Brien recommended the pixie sticks, even going so far as to help pour the candy into his son's mouth. Within 90 minutes, Timothy was pronounced dead. His daughter Elizabeth had also chosen the pixie sticks, but she survived because she was unable to open the pixie sticks. As it turns out, both Timothy and Elizabeth's candy had been poisoned. According to investigators, O'Brien filled the top 2 inches of pixie sticks with granules of potassium cyanide. What a fucking monster. Especially to think that the guy was just like, all right, open up. Ooh, big Halloween night.
I gotta go check on your sister.
Parents across Texas began to freak out over the possibility that their children would be poisoned as well. And in response, they threw away all Halloween candies that were collected. Hence O'Brien's nickname, the man who killed Halloween. Shockingly, there were more than just 2 laced pixie sticks. In fact, 5 other children were given the same candy from Ronald. Ronald was tasked with locating the other pixie sticks, but there was no way to find the exact whereabouts of where those pixie sticks were at. The police turned their attention to O'Brien after finding out that he had taken out $30,000 in life insurance policies for both his children. It's so stupid. It's so suspicious. Just what's your highest you can go? 30,000. Yeah, both of them. I was planning on keeping one of them, but with the amount, sure, fine. I'll settle with 30.
It's crazy. Nowadays, it costs about like $20,000 just to give birth to a child in the hospital. You're not even making that much money now.
It also costs $76,000 for a truck. Prices sure have skyrocketed, haven't they, Nick? Not only was he trying to profit off the death of his children, he was willing to involve other innocent kids in an attempt to make the crime appear random. In fact, his own insurance agent admitted that Ronald called him within hours of Timothy's death to begin processing the claim. How f***ed up is that? Hey man, you want to go ahead and run those numbers. They're gone. They're long gone. That's horrible. Yeah. Run it. On June 3rd, O'Brien was sentenced to death via electric chair. He was executed on March 31st, 1984. He maintained his innocence all the way to the end, stating, quote, "Because I have no guilt, I've really got nothing to worry about." What a man, Ronald. What a man. One of my favorite crazy Halloween incidents when I was a kid, it didn't have to do with necessarily drugs or anything, but there was one time I saw these kids go up to a house. They asked, trick or treat. The guy was like, "Leave me alone," because the whole indicator too is if somebody is doing trick-or-treating, their lights are on. So you can go, if their lights are off, it means no one's home. His lights were on, and the kids were like, trick-or-treat, and he's like, "I'm not fucking doing it here." And they're like, "Well, why are your lights on?" He went over to his, there's a little garden bed next to him, and he gave a handful of rocks and put it in their bags, and he's like, "There you go, now fuck off." And the kids immediately went, took the rocks out, and just pelted the windows out of his car. He came out, "What the fuck?" He turned his light off after that, though. That was the one big one. I kept my rock.
You did?
Yeah. I got a rock from him. Halloween is supposed to be this joyous time for children, and me personally now, I loved trick-or-treating back then, but now it's just a time, it's an excuse to just get in the spirit of watching crazy-ass fun movies and having this kind of weird decor, feeling this looming kind of spooky vibe. And it's a shame nowadays that it's like, I look around and you don't see any of that kind of camaraderie with kids anymore, or even maybe one day me having another child, especially the one after the fire. I'd like to take my kid out trick-or-treating, experience the things that I used to experience when I was a kid. And it's a shame that people have to go and ruin such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I do have to say this. If you are planning on going and trick-or-treating this Halloween season, or maybe you're taking your kiddos or your puppers out for a nice jaunt around the Halloween trails, maybe check the candy. Maybe keep a nice, spooky eye on all of these crazy, crazy individuals. Until next time, safe trick-or-treating, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Beloved.
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity and combined history of its players. Pursue lives of adventure, warfare, and prosperity.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat Channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down, because today we're talking about haunted houses. And yes, we've talked about real life haunted houses, but I'm talking about the fun time haunted houses. The one you paid to go to. I mean, right now, Spirit Halloween stores are popping up all over the nation again, prepping us for that beautiful October spooky season. And dare I say, a lot of the haunted houses are starting to get organized and get ready to have a little fun scaring you as well. But today I wanted to talk about, dare I say, the most notorious, self-renowned, scariest haunted house to ever grace the land. Something so vile that people run away in fear. I'm talking about the McKamey Manor. McKamey? Is that right? Okay. For those of you who may have never heard of the words McCamey Manor before in your life, let me give you a quick rundown of exactly what it is. McCamey Manor is a haunted house that calls itself the pioneer of extreme survival horror events. Now, if you have to call your haunted house a extreme survival horror event, Tim, that's already, if there was a chessboard here of uncomfortable conversations to be had, the pawn has been moved forward. Your go. The entire experience is designed to push people to their absolute physical and psychological limits. This includes, but is not limited to, actors grabbing you, shoving you, hitting you, spitting on you, shaving your head, waterboarding you, and inflicting any other type of torture that a human brain could imagine. They got that for you. You want to get your knees scraped up? You want to get your arms dislocated? Got that. It's right there on the shelf. Let me pick it off for you. It's gonna go great with a bow. The fun thing about McCamey Manor is that it's not really a haunted house, it's just torture. It's literal, it's just torture. It's a chamber. Yeah, a beautiful little chamber thing. You're the star of the show. Isn't that fun? It's a good time. It all comes from the mind of a power-tripping psychopath who enjoys to see other people suffer. His name is Russ McCamey. And before we go too much farther, I want to let you all know that he was just recently arrested for crimes we're going to talk about later in this video. So as we kind of start to dive down this little rabbit hole, just realize that this man is behind bars for now. We're hoping for a prison sentence, but we'll see. But I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? The McCamey Manor was founded in 2001 by Russ McCamey, a liberal arts major in theatrical production and an avid horror fan.
What do you think his favorite horror movie was?
Probably Saw. Well, I guess it's 2001. I don't know. He's probably just like my favorite movies. Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Movies are so sick. Also, it makes me sad too because I have a liberal arts. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I went to a liberal arts school, and I do horror content. Growing up in San Diego, California, Russ was influenced by classic horror films and local haunted houses in his neighborhood. I had a haunted house in my neighborhood, and the guy stopped doing it after like 3 years because people would just go behind the walls and just steal all of his pictures. So all of his family pictures and stuff, they'd be running out being like, "Oh, I got your family portrait, asshole." And he's like, "Hey, come back here!" In like a werewolf outfit. I was like, well, that's what you get. But during Russ' his 22-year Navy career, Russ perfected the art of the haunted house. Whenever I read this for the first time, I was like, well, how does that correlate? Which, it's funny because utilizing his skills in psychological operations and team collaboration, he created haunted houses on the naval ships where he served. He perfected the haunted house by making spooky walkthroughs on the ships that he was deployed on. Oh man, Russ makes the spookiest naval ship things, man. I can't wait to see what he does this year. He's like, calm down, boys. Calm down, one at a time. But basically, to summarize it, it's just him and his Navy buddies using psychological warfare on the other unsuspecting crewmates on the ships. Very fun stuff. And actually, it is rather spooky. You ever see that movie Ghost Ship?
Yeah, I'm terrified of it. Isn't that the one with where everyone gets their heads cut off?
Yeah, with the line at the beginning. The only good part in the movie. You ran out. After his service in the Navy, Russ decided he wanted to create the ultimate horror experience and, quote, not your standard boo haunted house. Sorry, liberals, but Russ turned around on his own. He came up with the McCamey Manor, claiming as the next evolution in interactive survival horror theater. We're just kind of combining survival and horror into all kinds of things. First it was a survival horror experience, now survival horror theater. We don't know which one it is, but it's survival horror. Being a big horror movie fan, his goal was to make this experience as if you're in a real-life horror movie. You are the final girl of this horror film. Oh my God. The videos that they post on social media where people are being tortured are always titled McCamey Manor Presents, almost like a snuff film production company. They take the videos you go through, the haunted house, he records you, but it always has McCamey Manor Presents, almost like he wants to be his own Miramax, or he wants to be his own kind of Dimension Films production company. He wants to be, he wants it to be a title card before his very own Nightmare on Elm Street kind of movie. It was originally located in San Diego, California. The experience was run out of a windowless van, but has since expanded into 3 phases. That just got me pretty good. If you can run a haunted house out of a windowless van, there is no other evolution. That is the end all be all. Get in my van.
And they just get lead pipes and start.
Yeah, just beat the shit out of them. Well, I wish there was more rooms. Maybe we could cut off half of the van and just make it another room. But then he set up this elaborate system of a 3-phase tier system that you have to go through to really go into the actual manor itself. You're never in the manor. No one's ever been in the manor, okay? I just want to say that. It's a very convoluted system, which the first phase is in Summertown, Tennessee, and if you're able to complete that, then you go to the second phase, which is in Nashville, Tennessee, and if you complete that, then you go to the last phase, which is in Huntsville, Alabama, and then we don't know where the manor is even at because it doesn't. We don't know. So basically, you have to go through 3 stages of torture, and then you get to go to the haunted house. Which each experience is specifically tailored to the participant's personal fears and is designed to last 10 hours long. 6 to 10 hours. So you're looking at 30 hours of nonstop torture from this guy. Man, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I can't wait to sign up for this. And Russ will interview you, your friends, and family members, and do Google searches in order to dig up dirt on the participants that are signing up for his McCamey Manor thing. I really wish he was just like, so I use Ask Jeeves. And they're like, what? And he's like, Ask Jeeves? Have you not heard of that? But you must be at least 21 years old to sign up unless you have cool parents who are like, oh, you're torturing my kid for 30 hours? All right, well, I'll sign a little slip for you. There you go. Cross the T's and dot the I's. There you go. Have fun, Rebecca.
You know, people are just faking parent signatures.
Yeah, I mean, also, you think Russ is going to be like, hey, did your mom really sign off on this? There's like an 18-year-old like, yeah. All right. And his haunted house, or the manor, is operated all year long and has become so popular that there is apparently a wait list of over 24,000 people trying to get in. Now, let me ask, do you think that that's true? Do you think there's that many people?
I don't believe it.
I don't think that there's that many people, because if there was that many people too, there'd be so much more video content. Which, don't get me wrong, there's a lot, but not 24,000 people waiting. Especially for a thing that's open all year round. Nah.
Apparently he does like 2 to 3 people a week.
2 to 3 people a week, my ass. Also, it's like, I like how it's 24,000 people wait list. He's like, yeah, Jiro dreams of sushi. You think that's a long wait list to get in? Sorry, buddy. You don't even know how many people are waiting to get in here. And if this is true, it's insane that there are that many people out there who want to experience this torture. Like, there's promo videos out there that show people, you know, that are going through it. But it's not a haunted house. Like, if you look at a haunted house of, like, any other haunt in America, they usually show, like, the building that's in, and it's, like, spooky. There's people in costumes walking around. And it's actual footage of people like walking through an experience. Russ's stuff is just you usually trapped in a corner, white trash people screaming in your face, and then just showing people being psychologically abused. And people were like, okay, now that's spooky. Get me in on that haunt, all right, babe? We're going right now. But it's odd because people want to willingly sign up for this, even though I've seen videos of some of the employees choking girls and screaming in their face, or like aggressively taping people's mouths and hands together, and again screaming in their face. You have to have that. That's probably going to accent everything we say. And people bleeding from their gums. And a lady getting her whole body slammed into a door. And then people almost nearly drowning while they scream in your face. You know, you have to do that. Which actually, I would rather be drowned so that it would muffle the screaming a bit.
The body slamming video is pretty funny.
The body slamming? Let me watch it. Also, the title card every time. They definitely went on some kind of like royalty-free website thing. They typed in like horror font. And it's like, oh, that looks like scuffed graffiti. That'll do. Also, McCamey Manor 2014 Survival Tips Part 4. This is going to be good. I need to research this. Jesus! God! Know your surroundings? No, how are you going to know your surroundings when you're blindfolded the entire time? That bitch got royally surprised. That is evil. And you're probably thinking, well, Hunter, how is this legal? Which is what I thought as well. And to skirt around any legal issues, they make you go through an extensive checklist of things to do before you're allowed to even participate in the manor experience. You have to complete a sports physical, which there's a YouTuber named Reckless Ben who is doing an entire series, basically an expose on this entire fiasco. And he even went there and participated in it. And I'm guessing the sports physical is you having to do those exercises. He basically just made him exercise for like 2.5 hours, which one I think is, it's mostly just used, I think, just to wear you down so you can't probably also fight back or do anything. You have to get a doctor's note.
Make sure you're healthy.
All right, you can go to the haunted house, but be sure to see me in 2 weeks. Goodbye. You have to pass a background check. I mean, that one feels probably, that's probably a legit one to actually do. You have to show proof of medical insurance.
I wonder why.
So you got medical insurance, right? Okay, perfect. We're going to scan that. Let's break her legs. You have to pass a drug test right before you enter the manor. All right? Once again, not a bad thing. You can't get high on angel dust and be like, rip out my tongue. And you have to sign a 40-page legal waiver, which I am going to go on a limb and say that I don't think that the waiver would probably hold up in a court of law. I'm not, if I was a betting man, I don't know what, because here are some of the ridiculous things that are actually in the waiver, and I am not paraphrasing, these are direct, this is text, okay? Participant fully understands and agrees that they may be fish hooked, which may inadvertently cause rippage to the mouth area.
Like a little fishy?
Yeah, you want to get a little Heath Ledger Joker smile from a fish hook? Can you just sign the dotted line there, sweetheart? Thank you, pretty eyes. Thank you so much for that. Participant fully understands and agrees that it is possible that joints, i.e. jaw, shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee, and hip, etc., may be accidentally dislocated. There's happy accidents here at the manor. You get it, right? Go ahead and sign that name and be sure the date. Yep. Perfect. Participants fully understand and agree that MK Ultra mind control may be used. Really, like Russ's military experience like coming in here. MK Ultra is in the legal document. And the list goes on and on. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's all public too. You can look it up now, but.
Do you think that is just a scare tactic?
Well, here's the thing. I think yes and no.
Oh, it's both.
I think it's both. I think that they signed it up because they're just like, ooh, this is going to be crazy. Do I think they're doing all of these? No. But do I think that they cherry pick which ones they want to do? Yes. Because then that way, too, you get your face slammed into a door or whatever and your jaw dislocates. And they're like, oh, thank God we have that waiver there. But then, too, I think that they're trying to weed out the people. Because they're, I mean, you're getting like very mentally disturbed people who want to come here, right?
That's the thing I read. When they do these interviews, they make sure, one, is this person like almost like a beta in a sense? They don't want to pick people who are unwilling to participate.
For people who think, oh, we're going to come here and duke it out and box it out, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be selecting you.
They're definitely signing people up who are willing to take the kind of torture that Russ McKamey and these actors are wanting to dish out, because essentially this is also just a snuff film, and it's people who are kind of getting off, maybe not sexually, but getting off in a power trip sense of being able to be a puppet master over somebody.
She's crying. Look at her crying. Look at her. Look at her. Beg. You beg her right now. You're not gonna beg?
And if you have somebody who's just like, I'm not doing it, you would never have any experiences, because I feel like the vast majority of people that showed up would be like, I'm not doing this, and then walk off. So you have to weed out the people who aren't serious and get those real mentally deranged people in there who are like, could you hit me with a hammer? Please just hit me with a hammer. This is a spooky haunt. All their teeth just dusted out of their mouth. And even before you sign the waiver, sometimes they just beat the shit out of you, which is a fun way to start your trip. Signing a waiver while you got a black eye.
In a video, they said they used to have this hostage method, where it's like you would give them the documents, and then they would steal you or kidnap you, and then like torture you a little bit, and then make you sign it.
Yeah, they would do it would have that windowless van that they probably had from their first iteration. Come in, they beat the shit out of you and make you basically sign the documents. But it's all part of the experience. It's spooky. This is scary.
Have your friends ever kidnapped you?
No, my friends have never kidnapped me. I'm too heavy, first off.
One time I was sleeping and they kidnapped me and stripped me naked and threw me at an elementary school.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's real. Well, it was a funny joke.
And while the waiver that you sign gives them consent to abuse you for hours, legally, a lot of this stuff just wouldn't hold up in court, which we dug deep for some nice legal advice here, and this is from a Wikipedia page, all right? During the tour, employees of the manor may physically assault patrons, waterboard them, force them to eat and drink unknown substances, have them bound and gagged, and engage in other forms of physical and psychological torture. Participants might be drugged during the experience. Yeah, exactly. We might give you fentanyl during this experience, or crack cocaine, or even angel dust. I don't know. One of those might happen. Maybe. Probably not. Looks over his buddy.
The Russian drug, where they blow it in your face.
Is it Russia? I thought it was like South American. Because the whole thing was they go up, they do, hey, take me to your bank. And you're like, I want him to have all my money. Whatever. It's fucking crazy. How the do humans think of that shit? Like, what does this do? And the guy's like, oh. You know what I mean? I mean, if you just look at these videos, people are clearly in a state of shock and are experiencing severe panic attacks. I mean, it's like a fight or flight response is happening at all times. And it's so fucking creepy because Russ is just in the background like, laughing like AJ. Big Justice's dad. You look like you're being crazy right now. She's like running through that experience. Blows a cock out of her face. Take me to your bank. Which I will say that there is some improvement recently for any McKamey Manor diehards out there. If I don't mention this, they might come for me. They did recently add a safe word to the mix. Oh, thank God, because before they didn't. So if you feel like you can't handle the experience anymore, you can always be a fucking see and say the safe word if they want to listen to you. They could also just say they didn't hear you and continue to just torture the shit out of you, or just maybe blow some more crocodile in your face, and then you're, you know, I actually want to be tortured. Perfect, perfect. But apparently some participants have claimed that the safe word is useless and Russ will just keep going, and that it isn't over until Russ says it's over. Because once again, you're in Russ's little puppet game, and this is a haunted house that you signed up for. And if you got this far, at this point, you're probably wondering, why did I do this? Which I'll tell you why you're probably thinking that you want to do it. One of the biggest components of the experience is a $20,000 cash prize for anyone who can do the entirety of.
Okay, let me get this straight. You go through pure torturing. They like shave your head, everything. They torture you. You go through a bunch of pain and mental stuff. All for only $20,000. 20,000 only to get tortured. Like, that's, people are messed up.
Of the manor, all 3 stages, and the actual manor that has never been seen before ever. It's just the name, McKamey Manor, but no one actually knows where it's at. He'll allude to it. Oh, you're not even ready for the manor. It's like, well, what the f are we even in then? And it's just a barn, or it's a shed that has like some old props, like an old fridge, and they put like fake blood on it, but then they have like a fucking saw box for you to put over your head, and they just like drown you.
Oh, you tapping out, pussy?
All right, well, no manor for you. But once again, like I said, these sections, these phases can last anywhere from 6 to 10 hours long, depending on what Russ has planned for you, or whatever he's kind of, if he's tired or not, or hungry. Big white trash men are just like, never mind, I'm done. I want to get some pizza shit. The caveat is that for every challenge you fail, you will lose $500 from the total lump sum. So basically what he does is he puts you in situations like waterboarding, which if you've never been waterboarded, try it at home. It's a lot of fun. And if you say, oh, I tap, it's $500 off, which, you know, you're probably thinking, well, you know, $19,500 doesn't feel too bad. Well, you're kind of looking at it the wrong way, because $500 deducted from $20,000, it's going to take a lot of challenges for them to fail. So it's a big list of things that they're going to do that if you don't say no, you're just going to die. Or he'll do something like, oh, my camera battery's dying. Or, oh, no, you're doing it wrong. We're going home. So it's impossible.
You're really not stable enough to do this. No offense.
I'm fine, man. I'm physically
It's a
fine.
con. It's a
I feel
con,
great.
isn't it? It's a
Look,
con,
I'm
right?
fine. If he knows you can do it, he won't let you get to the man.
Exactly.
And to this day, not a single person has completed the entire challenge. Now, I don't think a single person has ever been to the manor portion of it. People might have gone to a couple phases, but no one has ever actually gone through all 3 and then the manor itself, which has led a lot of people to think the manor doesn't exist. Which, newsflash, it doesn't exist. You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to know that. So if you're wondering who is the titan of the McKamey Manor experience, it was a record for 6 hours in the experience in 2014 by a woman named Sarah P. Which, we're going through all this stuff and we're talking about all these different locations, and it makes me want to take a second to just say, how does Russ afford all of this? And not just the prize money itself of the 20 grand, but to upkeep a manor, unless you just outright own it, but still that's like close to like $1 million to have a big fucking thing or something, and you're paying employees. And the weird thing too is that you're probably thinking, well, all these 24,000 people, I bet you have to have the down deposits to even be on the list. No, it's free participation. The only form of payment Russ wants is a 50-pound bag of dog food that he can donate to a local shelter. God, you're such a good guy, Russ. All right, you know what? If you're going to pay me and twist my arm about it, you can give me the pedigree and I'll take it from the local no-kill shelter. He's saying that to a woman, her face is just like, man. She's like, okay.
Good, I'll go get the dog. It's been a great experience.
The reason he moved from San Diego isn't because of some like grand plan of making something bigger. No, he owed $250,000 in taxes and just moved his operation to a different state. So it just leads to the question, which we've kind of tiptoed around it this entire time. Why does Russ McKamey do this? If he isn't getting paid, why on God's green earth would you want to do this? And the short answer is he's a psychopath. To run an all year, no breaks ever, 3 people a week for how many years since 2001 for free? Now, Now, color me curious, Nick, but I think that you probably have to have a couple screws loose to run that operation, if I had to imagine. The acts that take place inside the manor border on a form of torture for Russ and his viewers, because he streams the events of people going through. He records it and streams it, but when he streams it, he says that there's people in Vegas that are putting money so he can basically just torture you in whatever way. So a guy could put $50 on him kicking a girl in her pussy or something like that, and he's like, sorry, the guy from Vegas is having me do this. So maybe there's like weird snuff sites, or maybe like weird people who get off to it who are donating to him as well that maybe hasn't publicly acknowledged. He gets a kick out of filming and highly editing his videos, like really manipulating the footage that we see.
He always cuts out stuff that will get him in trouble.
Yeah, he always has a way of like the camera's pointed down, or there's a large gap taken out of the video footage, probably because that's the stuff where even with that little cute waiver, I think you're probably gonna get the fucking cops called on you. And Russ seems to take a sick pleasure in hurting these people. Once again, you hear him laughing a lot. He's always smiling with his big ass stupid fucking mouth. What's up too, I forgot to say this, he called my local rock station when I was younger. Kansas City, there's a local rock station called 98.9 The Rock with Johnny Dare, and Russ called up there because radio DJs are just the worst. And they're like, it's a crazy haunted house, huh? And Russ is like, oh yeah, it's pretty funny watching people scream. And you know, Johnny Dare's like, that's crazy. Here's AC/DC. It was always fucking weird hearing that, and then seeing the context now, it's just insane. Because back then, when I heard on the radio, it's just your imagination, him saying it's the scariest thing ever. But no, it's just a white trash dude just slapping people around in a fucking like dilapidated barn. That's all it is. But Russ does cover his tracks, ladies and gentlemen. He does make sure to tell people that if the police come, just tell them it's a game. Just tell the police that we're just joking around, which is just a sick way of gaslighting people into also like going along with your criminal activity, but then also gaslighting you into being like, this is just an experience. You're like, fingers all broken in your hand. He's like, we're just playing. You remember you signed up for this, right? Remember when you did that? I mean, just gaslighting people. You must be having a great time. Please don't tell the cops that this is bad. Just say that this is a fun game. Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you, sweetheart. But unfortunately for Russ, there was a couple who signed up for the tour that ended up suing him for misrepresenting the tour and going beyond what even the waiver entailed. Which, if you've gone beyond even what the waiver says, my God, he must have been having a field day. The woman, Avery, goes through absolute hell and is clearly distraught by the end of it. She passed out multiple times, and instead of stopping, Russ made fun of her throughout the entire experience. The bitch keeps blacking out, and he's just like, well, we got a live one here. Devil's advocate. Even if you're like, this is just extreme horror, this is just for people who want to have that kind of life or death edge kind of thing. Same people that like Spelunk or whatever, that extreme thrill. To not break it at a point where it is bordering on somebody actually passing out, multiple times passing out, and you just continue to do it, just shows like his complete disregard for anyone's actual safety, and how it's the perfect example of how this is literally his fantasy. It's not about the participants and their experience there. It's all for Russ, which is just creepy, which does fit into the theme of his haunted house, to be fair. See, that's how he gets you. He's just like, well, were you scared? You're like, yeah. He's like, you're welcome.
He also doesn't have any medical staff on board. No one's trained.
Yeah, no. Well, of course there's no medical staff on board. I mean, everyone there is just like weird white trash, like rednecks who are just like, come on, Russ, give her the barbed wire. And you're like, okay. Which all of the employees that are with him now, or at least the majority of them, are some of the actors that help torture people, have been people who have made it through a couple of the phases, and now they work with him. That's at least what we found online. I don't know how true that is, but if it is, then that's like some weird Stockholm Syndrome shit. I don't know how true that is, because I've seen some videos and I'm like, there's no way this guy went through. But Avery, who sued Russ, got quite the surprise when Russ uploaded a 3-hour-long spite video, basically calling her a liar and a big baby. Her experience was, what, 5 minutes long or something?
That's what he says.
Yeah, he says that her experience was only like 5 minutes long. And he stretches that conversation out for 3 hours. 3 hours for that response. What the fuck? The heavily edited video was just to make fun of her and try to refute the claims in her lawsuit. Which also I want to put out there that he had that couple, Avery and that couple, waivers on a Jack and Bob, which I don't know. All right, we can sign this little spooky extravaganza over a couple tacos and some chicken. Then afterwards, on the way to the manor, Avery passes out in the van en route to the haunted house. But instead of stopping, they just slap her awake and scream. He such a comedically horrible person. Like this is like something you would see in like early 2000s, like a comedy, like old school or some shit. Which he also talks about how the couple never got any injuries. Throughout the entire video, they choke them, slap her, slam her head against the goddamn wall.
She breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing. I mean, it's a fucking backyard wrestling match at this fucking manor. What are any injuries? It's like, look at this. What are you talking about? You fucking moron. They also bury Avery in a mountain of dirt.
I want you in the dirt. I want to bury you alive 12 feet deep. That's what I want. That's what I want to do.
It's such a huge link to go to just like basically want to kill somebody. There's no other giant red flags to be like, what I wouldn't give just to leave her down there and really know that she's just gone. You know what I mean? Like, what the whole video just calling them liars, but then contradicting himself the entire time with footage that he's showing, only helping her case. And there's also many testimonials online for people who have done the tour, and a lot of them share similar experiences throughout all of it. Like usually afterwards there are the testimonials or like the post, like after you go through the tour, they usually have you record stuff, or people will have to recover for some time and then do it because they're so bruised up. They talk about how they were beaten up by the actors and how they were forced to adjust disgusting foods and unable to think coherently throughout the experience.
You know it's not real, right? You know it's not real, right?
That's not real.
So even if there was a safe word involved, if you're going through a traumatic situation like this, you're probably so fucking mentally fried that there's no way for you to even actually be like, hey, no, seriously, I'm done. You're probably so shell-shocked that Russ is just like, oh man, they like it too. Also, whenever you don't experience, they do force you to do their testimonials, basically saying like, that was so fun, thanks Russ. Put you in a very awkward situation. I mean, you're exhausted. You just want to get the fuck out of there. So a lot of times these people are just like, I'll just say whatever you want me to, just let me leave. These the testimonials we're getting. Which one of the most disturbing ones in my opinion is Laura B. Viewer discretion advised. My God, her face is swollen to hell, so if you don't want to see that, well, don't click away because that hurts my video. In this video, Laura tells people not to try the experience and to stay away. She says it was so horrible, it doesn't wish for that experience on anyone. I mean, just dude, her face, her lips are swollen, her head is shaved. She looks, I mean, her whole head looks swollen, like various parts. They just beat the fuck out of her. It's unbelievable.
And there's that creepy guy in the back.
Well, yeah, and then there's like a guy in the background who is, just to speculate, I'm guessing it's a crew member there to make sure, like, is the video done or is she saying the right things? Because in her mind, she's like, hey, seriously, don't show up, this thing sucks. But then Russ is probably in the background like, this is gonna look great when we edit it. There's also Katie Silvas' exit interview where right at the start she talks about being too incoherent to even film the video, so she had to wait and film it at home. So this is after the fact. She shaved her head after the event, and then she said, you know, ladies, if you don't want them to touch their hair, just let you know they basically will. They don't give a fuck to shave your head. Now she got to shave her head bald. Which once again, how many people have we seen them shave their heads? Like, what the fuck do you expect? Yeah. Hey, don't touch the hair. All right. Okay. Hey, fellas, hands off the hair, all right? Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Once again, even she says that it was so messed up and she didn't like it. It's weird because in some of the testimonials even, people are like, oh, it was awesome. Thank you for the experience. It feels so scripted. Also, sometimes they are in the manor still, and they're like, what'd you think? Super close to their face. The guy's like, yeah, it was great. Thanks. Thank you so much. You're like, yep, this is a sane man right here. He's definitely not trying to say anything, just to fucking leave. Which now that you've seen what the McKamey Manor is like and who Russ McKamey is as a person, why don't we go back to the beginning of the video where, yes, he just recently got arrested. However, it turns out Russ wasn't arrested for anything involving this torture chamber. He was arrested for attempted murder of his girlfriend. Yeah, I know. I was surprised too, right? That's kind of weird. The guy shaving people's heads and beating them with pipes and dislocating them and drugging them. Him? Really? Okay, I'll believe it, I guess. On July 17, 2024, police arrested Russ for physically assaulting, to almost murder his girlfriend. Which, you know, I wish I could say it was a surprising turn of events. Jesus Christ, everything that we've read so far, out of all the countless videos we've seen, all this historical stuff, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to be like, it's like the video game argument. Violent video games makes violent people. People are going to say like, oh, well, just because he's a extreme horror guy, you shouldn't assume that. But it's like, it's not a horror experience though. It's him simulating physically too, basically killing people and doing deranged shit. Listen, I've seen some crazy movies like Poughkeepsie Tapes, all these like other kinds of like movies. They're a suspension of belief, whatever. And even then you're just kind of like, to each their own or whatever, but it's not real. And it doesn't happen 24 hours a day, 12 months a year. It never, there's never any end. This kind of weird murder fantasy he has, he perpetually lives in it and acts upon it all the time, to the point where, in a weird way, it kind of feels like it was bound to happen.
But he donates dog food.
But he does donate the dog food, so we kind of have to give him some slack, right? It's still pretty new. This is what, last month?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago is where this is at. So I don't know if this man is going to stay behind bars. I don't know the whole thing. This is just what he was arrested for. And seeing all this stuff is just disturbing. I mean, that's not entertainment. Thrill seekers are an interesting bunch. People spelunking and being trapped in a cave or whatever, but having the mental dexterity to withstand that kind of claustrophobia. People deep sea diving, doing whatever these extreme things to get this high is very admirable and shows like a very strong mental fortitude. But people going to just get beaten up, like basically just be tortured for fun, doesn't seem mentally strong. It seems like mentally kind of deranged people doing these things, or mentally disturbed people who are looking for some kind of fix out there. This man has been living in a perpetual fantasy of murder simulation forever. It isn't video games, it's not movies, it's not make-believe. It's him actually hurting people and then getting you to be like, yeah, that was fun. Keep this like mental ball rolling of like, we're in on this together, right? See, I didn't try to almost murder you. Dang it, you lived, right? Just kidding. Fist bump. Haunted houses are a crazy thing. I'm such a haunted houses, dude. Oh my god! Even the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum in Vegas, you have to crawl through this like narrow passage for me. It was big fat ass going through that. Even that was spooky for me. But haunted house, I mean, it's fun feeling afraid. It's fun having that base level fear come over you. There's a lot of great haunted houses out there that do it. Even here's the beast and the edge of hell. Would I ever go through? Too much no way. But what Russ McKamey and McKamey Manor is not a haunted house. It's just torture simulation. It's just torture over a mentally disturbed guy who's living in the fucking back alleys of Tennessee, performing weird things with even weirder people. I wanted to talk about this today because it's insane that he just recently got arrested. But I remember hearing this guy when I was younger talk about this extreme haunted house.
I don't believe that guy would do that stuff. There's no way he would. It's not possible. There's no way.
And to see that it's just
no way
is very eye-opening in a very f***ed up kind of way. It's just, if you have enough confidence to say anything, people will believe what you have to say. And Russ McKamey was and is his biggest fan. So him hyping up his haunted house, you're going to get people out there who want to experience that kind of love as well. So I don't know. Obviously, Russ McKamey Manor, if you're going to go to a haunted house, make sure people aren't choking you, beating you with pipes, and drugging you. All right? Have fun.
All right, y'all. Gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. We'll do one more video after this. I'm back. I just had to also fix something with my what do you call it? Oh yeah, I had to plug my Oculus in because I'm gonna do a VR stream. Oh wait, we gotta see this. We gotta see this. Bro, the money's zero. Send donation. Help out a friend.
God is good.
Are not on.
ABC. Is this live? Where are they holding these?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Look at that 3 times. All the subsidies to follow.
Was wrong. However, once he really... That was tragic, listening...
We're going to destroy! We are going to beat All Stars FC!
Is this Russian? Is this a Russia flag?
I'm not proud of you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Iron Giant Diffie, man. Okay, my voice did
Shit, you can buy your mom shit, your dad shit. You're gonna gain way more.
But I woke up every day. Oh shit.
God is good.
Tomorrow night on
ABC.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat Channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're
Okay.
welcome back to the Papa Meat Channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about tourists. God. I'll tell you something. Tourists are terrible. And I feel bad because I'm getting ready to be a tourist soon enough in Japan. My fat ass is going over there, and I tell you, I'm going to have the utmost respect for everything that I possibly can, but I'm sure it's impossible to be totally, 100% culturally respectable when I'm sure I'm maybe doing things out of the norm that are accepted over here. I don't know, but all I do know is that historically, online, tourists are some of the worst people imaginable. Most entitled pieces of shit you've ever seen walking around, desecrating cultures, not really giving a good goddamn about anybody but themselves.
Cringy.
I just want to talk about some of the terrible things that tourists have done in the world. Hell, there's probably a long list that I don't even have myself, but these are some of the ones that I just wanted to talk about. Starting with our good friend, Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali is a well-known IRL streamer whose claim to fame is being an unrelenting, unapologetic troll.
Why are you being racist to other people in other countries? For money! For clout!
I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a sociopath. I don't give a fuck.
Swing on it! I'm a troll, dude! I'm just messing around!
He became well-known for traveling around different countries, harassing innocent people. And on his trip to Japan in 2023, he was seen repeatedly making racist comments and referencing the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki to innocent Japanese locals, just being a real piece of shit. At one point while on the train, he taunted several passengers about how they were, quote, going to drop another atomic.
Okay. I was hearing him out for a second when he was saying, for clout, for money. but making fun of like Japan getting bombed, like that's a different thing. That's on a whole nother level. Like, and like saying that they're gonna drop another one is, something's wrong with you.
Atomic bomb. He did this yet again to Japanese workers on a construction site before being screamed at and forced to leave. There was another incident inside of a restaurant in Osaka where Somali went live and purposely blasted music from his phone. Atomic bomb. He did this yet again to Japanese workers on a construction site before being screamed at and forced to leave. There was another incident inside of a restaurant in Osaka where Somali went live and purposely blasted music from his phone to annoy workers. And this led to a $1,400 fine for, quote, forcible construction of business. Which this led to a $1,400 fine for him, which is probably just a slap on the wrist. This little troll.
They asked him, like, are you making money off this? He's like, no, I don't make any money off it.
I don't make any money. I swear to God. He was found in Tokyo Disneyland Resort playing racially insensitive music to locals and filming their reactions without their consent. Many occasions, Somali's actions have led to him being assaulted by locals. Not only do internet onlookers approve of this, but Johnny himself seems to love the notoriety that comes with inciting the violence. His repeated bad behavior eventually led him to be banned from Japan. Aww. If anything, too, I bet this dickhead, I bet he's like, hey, that's awesome. I'm banned from a whole country. Epic. But instead of learning his lesson, he traveled to Israel to continue his tirade in March of 2024. In Tel Aviv, he would continue to harass people to the point where he was chased down and beaten yet again.
Ow! Hey, don't touch me, man. Hey.
Then 2 days later, he was detained for sexually harassing a female police officer.
You a bad bitch, I swear to God. You a bad bitch, I'll take you to dinner.
It's a prank. It's a joke. After the Israel trip, Johnny tweeted that he was going to travel to South Korea next and threatened to slap a member of the K-pop group BTS. During the visit, he kissed and performed a lap dance on statues of peace, which are meant to honor victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery during World War II, so twerking and kissing it and joking around. Played obscenely loud noises on a subway, such as speeches by Kim Jong-un and North Korean propaganda music. Verbally assaulted a convenience store employee after he was refused alcohol. Then assaulted another lady by throwing an unknown liquid on her and slapping her camera out of her hands. Can we just say, great guy. Can we say that real quick? Take a quick pause. Thank you for being such a good human being. Appreciate you.
Wait! We want to thank today's sponsor, PDS Dead.
This guy's a G, he's a W. He hasn't done anything bad in his life. When he dies, he's gonna fly up.
Damned. Last year, half of American consumers took on debt to pay for the holidays. Oh, God. That's the cold, hard truth. Many of us will get deeper in debt during this time. God damn. On top of sponsoring the video and back to the video.
At this point, the people of Tufts had had enough. It was time to fight back. So now locals have been actively making the effort to find Johnny's whereabouts and teach him a lesson. I hope it's probably worse than just beating him up, because that just he doesn't seem to give a shit. Gets beaten up and he's just like, radical.
Love games but hate the grind? With WeMod, you can be invincible, unimaginably wealthy, or even teleport. WeMod is the #1 app for PC game modding, and it's completely free. Now you can modify your games easily and safely to have the perfect experience for you. Whether you want
The first incident was when his phone was punched out of his hands by a man who had been watching his streams to find his location. Stream sniping became a regular occurrence for Somali during this time. Then Somali and his friend Jindo were jumped and assaulted by a group of people soon after. Even groups of Korean YouTubers began hunting him down. And at one point, every single one of them went offline at the same time, rumoring that they had just located him via his stream and prepared to attack. Didn't want to make it easier to get in trouble for beating up this piece of shit. On Halloween, Johnny was punched in the face out of nowhere by a Korean YouTuber who was fed up with Somali's actions. And apparently, the assailant is another YouTuber by the name of Yoo Dal-gyung, an ex-MMA fighter and UDT, the Korean equivalent of like a Navy SEAL, who was specifically hunting Somali down. Motherfucker is getting some legitimate heat. I love it. Most recently, on October 30th of 2024, South Korean Parliament caught wind of Somali's antics. He has since been banned from leaving South Korea as an investigation began regarding illegal drug use and assault charges. South Korea has intense laws prohibiting illegal drugs, and Somali may face up to 10 years for this crime. Meanwhile, the assault could lead to the max sentence of 2 years. In total, the potential fines for both crimes
Don't take that out of context.
may reach up to $76,000. Don't let him leave. Just keep him around for a while. Throw him in a cage. I don't know. Do what you have to do. I'm a troll! I'm a troll! Some guy just comes over and is like, elbow drops on his head. But this is just one of the more notable cases that happened recently that kind of led for this video to be made. And even it's weird getting ready to go to another country and to even think that you can act like this. To me, going to a country that you don't speak the language, it's not your culture. It's almost like being invited into your friend's house for the first time and you're just kind of like completely, you don't want to touch anything. You don't want to ruin anything. Their dad's like sitting in the lazy boy just looking at you. Right. I'm just here to hang out. Not a big deal, right? You can't stay for dinner. Or we could talk about Americans harassing Japanese geishas. You ever see that movie, Memoirs of a Geisha? DVD cover scared me when I was a kid. It actually did. I just saw like The Grudge or something like that too, and I was like, huh. It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. In Kyoto, Japan, there's been a serious issue with what is referred to as geisha paparazzi. Geishas are women that are trained in traditional Japanese arts like singing, dancing, and playing music, and they often perform entertainment for wealthy clients during parties. As they walk along the streets of Kyoto, tourists rush to take photos of them. I mean, that video of that woman, that fat woman, like, she's like, keeps getting up and she keeps taking photos, so she has to keep running up. The geisha is definitely just like walking in past, like, please stop this, but too weirded out to say anything. Good God. Maiko, or teenage geisha apprentices, are very young, making it even more inappropriate to treat them as some sort of attraction. And in 2019, the Gion, a historic neighborhood in Kyoto, pushed to ban photography. And in 2024, Kyoto has now banned tourists from parts of the geisha district. You can't even go there anymore because people are just the worst. Because they're just like, look at you're so cute. This was due to the rise in aggressive tourists going so far as to chase down women and tug at their kimonos desperately to take photos. Please stop! Some would even pull out their hair ornaments and hit them with cigarette butts. The locals fear that the over-tourism after pandemic will continue to cause further harassment as well as increase in litter. Yeah, of course. Can you imagine being like, let me take a picture? Do you think that's people being like, all right, fine, you, and flicking at you to get their attention? Hey! Did I scare you? Did I get you?
Well, a lot of times they're like this. Like, don't look at me.
My God. Nick is going to Japan with me. I gotta keep an eye on your ass, dude. That's unbelievable. Or we can talk about tourists leading to animal harm. Are you having a good day? I'm here to ruin it. I hope you're having a bad day now, because that's what this video is trying to do. This is a comedy video, I swear. Not only do bad tourists lead to locals being harassed, but in many horrific cases, their needless, selfish actions have led to the direct harm or killing of wildlife. Make sure to keep that smile up. You smiling? Let me see that smile. Buckle up. We're going to talk about animals dying now. Like the death of a baby dolphin. In 2017, a baby Francicana dolphin was found on its own on a resort beach in Mojakar, Almeria. Is this the Chronicles of Narnia? Where the f is that in the world? Near a large group of tourists. Oh, good God. The small animal was separated from its mother and was weakened and afraid. What started as a few short interactions and photos by the tourists became much more chaotic. Soon, a swarm of people surrounded the dolphin to pick it up, pet it, and pass it around to let everyone take selfies with it. This photo is haunting. That is horrible. I'm sick to my fucking stomach, dude. As they cannot stay out of water for very long, the baby dolphin eventually died due to dehydration. In some of the photos taken early on, you can see that children were covering its blowhole. According to Marine Wildlife Rescue Group, the dolphin was scared for its life the entire time and could have been easily saved if authorities were alerted upon its discovery. It was also noted that the Francicana dolphins are an endangered species.
The threatened species only exist in a few Latin American countries and with fewer than 30,000 left in the water.
Honestly, I'm getting fucking depressed. Did we have to include that the fucking children were covering its blowholes, dude? Can we not have just left it with the fucking selfie, the dehydrated selfies, dude? You just had to be like, also, the kids were putting their little fingers in its blowhole. It couldn't breathe. Oh, good. Let's talk about the death of a seal pup. In 2022, 2 tourists killed a baby seal pup in an attempt to take a selfie with it. Why do people like selfies so much? Selfies are so fucking gay, it's unbelievable. Leave it in, too! I said it, they're gay! Leave it in! The Great Basket Island in County Kerry, Ireland is home to over 1,000 seals and is often having to put up with misbehaving tourists interacting with them. The 2 of them reportedly took the baby seal from the beach and chucked it into the ocean. Afterwards, they dragged it back onto shore in order to take selfies with it. Get back over here. What kind of logic is that? What the f? Young seals spend their first 3 weeks of life being fed by their mother before they must fend for themselves. Because humans were interacting with the seal, the mom was scared off. Because of this, the pup was unable to feed, which led to its untimely death. It isn't just no-name, non-celebrities animals either, right? I mean, now even people are starting to throw things at Moodang, the little baby hippo, little pygmy hippo, which this year, a pygmy hippo by the name of Moodang, which means bouncy pork, who gives a f***, took the world by storm after a series of viral tweets showcasing how cute and lovable and playful she was. I even saw a TikTok of a girl who's like, I'm traveling 14 hours to see Moodang, and she did that like 6 times. How much free time do you have, dude? It's a pygmy hippo. Get over it. Moodang is exhibited at the Khao Kyu Open Zoo in Sriracha Charoen Brewery, Thailand. Whatever. As Moodang became a viral star, the zoo found ways to capitalize on her virality by opening up a merch line. Basically, they just started throwing Moodang on everything and selling it. This also just feels like torture, dude. I feel like these zoos. You know what I say? I say zoos. I don't f*** zoos, man. If you're helping an animal out, sure. Why the f*** do we have fat-faced f***s coming up and being like, hey, poor bear! Poor bear! Zoos, man. Probably some f***ing guy getting paid minimum wage has like a hose spraying off a f***ing like dying penguin. I don't give a f***. Beating him in the back and shit. Totally. They even created a 24/7 live stream to see what she was up to at all times. It's awesome. Run around! Sadly, the notoriety Moodang brought to the Khao Kyu Zoo led to increasingly misbehaving tourists. Because as soon as mouth-breathing f***ing idiots get wind of anything, they have to ruin everything and anything. He's cute, huh? Hey, Moodang! Look at me! Look at me, Moodang! In order to get a reaction out of the pygmy hippo, people began throwing rocks and objects onto her. When tourists made their way to the zoo to see her, some were frustrated to see that she was laying down and not putting on a show. Hand me my fucking lighter. Hey! In response, many would toss things at her in hopes of capturing viral photos and videos, or simply to see her in action. People engaging in this behavior were threatened with legal action, and the zoo has since limited the amount of visitors allowed to see her at one time in order to keep things safe. They're probably beating the shit out of that pygmy hippo. I'm never going to step
who was
foot
digging
inside
in my
another
nose?
fucking zoo again.
I was doing this
I'm
earlier.
not going to any of them. Even like, what do they have up
Look,
in Japan?
on the
Capybara
side.
Cafe. Why the f do I want to go to that now, dude? What a great life for you. Do you like this? A man helps a calf rejoin a herd and it leads to its death. Is this, are we just talking about animal death or is this still about tourists? In 2023, a newborn bison had to be put to death after a tourist interfered with its herd. This video might break me. It occurred in Wyoming at the Yellowstone National Park when the herd was crossing a river together. As they climbed up onto the roadway, a man noticed that one was left on its own. Seeing that it was struggling to walk up the steep hill, the man picked the bison up and pushed him the rest of the way. This seemingly good deed causes issues for wild animals, as interfering with a young offspring can often result in the herd rejecting it and leaving it behind out of fear. And they noticed that it began to continuously approach the other cars and people on the road. To keep it from endangering innocent people, park officials ultimately had to euthanize it. In return, the man could possibly face a misdemeanor charge for disturbing wildlife, as well as charges that can carry up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Just seems excessive. Are you gonna go to your mom? Are you gonna go to your mom? Okay. Speaking of Yellowstone, there are a lot of videos of people getting too close to bison and they just get completely destroyed. Let me see this little get tossed up. I want to see a smile get put on my face.
I shouldn't be laughing at. I should not.
Stupid
I should
bitch.
not be
I like
laughing
how
at.
other people just like they left the little girl on her own. She's like, oh my god. You know, is that the Buffalo Wild Wings bison? You think? I think it is. Yeah. I want more of that. Give me more child death. I like that more. Also, tourists like to fall into the hot springs and dissolve, which is fun. Tourist. We're not going to Japan anymore. I'm refunding the tickets. Or we can talk about Chinese tourists who go nuts for jumbo shrimp. What is it? What is this life? Talking about animals getting euthanized, little girls get hit by bisons, and now Chinese people loving jumbo.
Hey, Grandma. Where are you? Oh. Do we have any small pieces of wood that we could, like, not, like, ruin my desk or anything? Just put it in between my cup holder and my desk. That way it's, like, straight. Okay.
Shrimp. During dinner at a Thai buffet in Chiang Mai, a chaotic scene takes place when a horde of Chinese tourists charge a pile of jumbo shrimp. Okay, there's no way of me saying this cannot be racist. A horde of Chinese people flooding a pile of jumbo shrimp. In a video released in 2016, you can see people shoveling shrimps onto their plates. Some are using a second plate as a utensil to shove more shrimp onto the first. Okay, I'll be honest, there's a lot of shrimp. Motherfuckers love their shrimp. Holy hell. God damn, they all look so serious, too. Not one of them have a smile on their face. It doesn't look like any of them are happy to even be there. They're all just like...
Chinese tourists got a lot of money, so they would go into like Thailand or Taiwan, basically be very rude.
They had that shrimp money now, huh? I want all the plates of shrimp I could possibly get. Commentators were appalled at the viral video, especially after seeing the aftermath photos revealing how much food had gone to waste after the whole ordeal. I don't even want it. Nah, I'm good. I'm stuffed. I ate 2 pieces of jumbo shrimp. Nah, I'm good, actually. China experienced significant food scarcity during periods like the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. As a result, having an abundance of food became a symbol of prosperity and success. For some, ordering more food than necessary is a way to demonstrate wealth and overcome past hardships. I just ordered this because you should see like a Mercedes-Benz. It's like having a pair of Gucci sunglasses or something like that. Jumbo shrimp. I like this like the one slice of watermelon. We did also want to get the watermelon in there too because watermelon pairs very nicely with jumbo shrimp. Tourist flips a boat after refusing to stop taking selfies. During a gondola ride in Venice last year, Chinese tourists were launched into the water due to selfish groups' desire to take as many photos as possible. You know me with Chinese tourists and photos, dude. Up in Alaska.
Honestly, I'll be honest, that's honestly their fault. Like, that's actually just their fault. Because if you're told to stop taking pictures and you're just like, no! Like, that's just your fault, honestly.
When I proposed to my wife up in Alaska, we went to go see the Northern Lights, whatever. I swear to God, there was 30 tourists with cameras, dead sprinting back and forth, taking all these fucking photos. Like, unbelievable. To the point where you were like, just take it in for a second, man. Like, they were shifting in every direction to take videos and photos, which became problematic when the gondolier had to sail the boat under a bridge. He insisted that the passengers stop standing out of their seats and take photos, but nobody listened. Because of this, the boat was unable to stay balanced and tipped over. In a video posted online, you can see the groups of tourists crying as they desperately try to get out of the ice-cold canals.
Also, those canals are fucking disgusting.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? that. Oh, God. You know what? Good. Let him fall over, man. I've experienced my own pain. I'm not going to die on this hill. Or we could talk about all the times that tourists go to really nice places and they like to just say f*** and vandalize all the property there. Because that's fun. Because every place on Earth is like your job's bathroom. Ancient temple, the exact same as my Amazon warehouse's job bathroom. I can just take my car keys out and start carving my name into it. Good time. Which we could talk about tourists defacing the Kyoto bamboo trees. One of Japan's most ancient and popular sites, Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. It is known as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which are precious historical places representing a major stage of Earth's history. Not just Japan, f***ing Earth, the planet we live on, okay? Despite the delicate nature of the site, 100 trees were found tainted with carvings in 2018. Like, the pandas eat them, they can't be that cool, right? Tourists from all over the world will pass by this landmark, carving their names and other words into the bamboo to commemorate the experience. Because bamboo trees are connected to their roots, doing this not only endangers the carved tree, but the ones around it. This leads to tampered trees being chopped down. Disrespectful actions like this could lead to tourist spot being closed down for good in order to continue preserving this historical landmark. And according to the manager of the forest, what the f does he look? What kind of, is he a centaur? He was past the stage of anger and feeling deep sorrow. It's that thing where it's like when you go into like a museum, is your first inclination to be like to touch things? No, you're just observing respectfully, right? Oh, this is beautiful. Also, who the f wants their stupid ass name like Steven carved into a fucking piece of bamboo? Idiot. God, man, people suck. Tourist and fiance tried to carve their names into the Colosseum. Yeah, the Roman Colosseum. It's romantic. UK visitors, of course, they're UK people. UK visitors to the famous Roman Colosseum are facing possible jail time for defacing its walls in order to commemorate his time there with his girlfriend. He's just his girlfriend, dude. She's like, we should get tattoos. He's like, why don't we just carve her name into the wall? The motherfucker's trying to get out. The Colosseum is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Once again, King Earth. We learned about this already. While Ivan Dimitrov attempted to carve Ivan plus Haley. That's a terrible collection of names. Ivan Dimitrov Haley. While Ivan Dimitrov attempted to carve Ivan plus Haley 23 on the wall, he noticed that he was being filmed by a bystander that began verbally chastising him. This man then gave the footage to security. Love that. I love that, like, police hall monitor guy. Look at this. Cultural Minister Gennaro Sangriano referred to it as, quote, an act that offended everyone across the globe who appreciated the value of archaeology, of monuments, and of history. That's a fucking deep insult, dude. Not even just being like, it's the Colosseum. He's like, archaeology, monuments to mankind and history. You, sir, have spat in its face. I was just like, hey, bro. Easy, bro. Take my demo tape. He was caught by police and faced legal proceedings. A long and apologetic letter was sent to Rome's mayor as his lawyers made a plea bargain to request, don't let it happen, dude. Kim.
Yeah, one day can I not call? I have key. If I have key, can I not carve?
It's like, no, start your fucking car, moron. Or we could talk about teenagers who carves his name into a 1,200-year-old temple in Japan. While visiting a Buddhist temple in Nara, Japan, a Canadian teenager named Julian carved his name into a wooden pillar using his fingernails. Every Julian I've ever met, some of the weirdest fucking human beings on Earth. Also, Julian, really? Took his rat teeth and was wheedling them down. He's like,
Julian, that's my name.
The young man insisted that he did not intend to insult or disrespect their culture. I put my name there because I thought the place was sick. It's kind of bad not just think some place is cool? Okay, fine. Regardless, actions like this can result in heavy fines and years of imprisonment. Due to his age, he likely will not be charged with anything severe. I think it should be the death penalty. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm f***ing around. Or we could talk about how tourists break a 150-year-old statue for pictures. 17 German tourists, while on vacation in northern Italy, shattered a 150-year-old statue in an attempt to take a fun photo. It's going to fall and then we'll catch it, and it will be very funny. In the video captured by security cameras, you can see the group stepping over the water to stand next to the statue. While taking the photo, a buddy on the other side jokingly pokes at him with a wooden cane. Was he a vaudeville character? He's like,
just like my mother used to do to us, right?
As the man falls into the water, they bring down the entire statue crumbles upon hitting the ground. Oh, the cringe. The absolute cringe. Yeah, oh, mein bad. He's coming to mein Geburtstag still? I don't know. The work known as Domina cost about $218,000 and was precious to the location. Obviously. It is not known yet if the tourist will be charged or forced to pay for the damages. What? Justice! I demand justice! Or we could talk about other people smashing stuff, like when tourists smashed some Vatican statues. In 2022, an American tourist smashed 2 ancient Roman sculptures at the Vatican in a blind rage. Of course, dude. Probably another Julian. In the Musei Caramanti Museum, an adult man entered and aggressively insisted that he speak to the Pope Francis. Obviously, he was denied the request. I want to talk to the Pope! They're like, no, we can't. He's like, oh, God damn! He responded in anger by hurling an ancient sculpture to the floor. Vatican staff and security began to chase after him, and on his way out, he toppled another one over. Oh, God. The sculptures were not fully destroyed, but severely damaged. The man was forced out of the museum and handed to the authorities. Reportedly, he had been in trouble in the past for gross indecency in the U.S. Black Friday, dude, I'm telling you. This is definitely a Black Friday Best Buy guy who's like toppling over little girls and shit. And if actions like this continue to take place, it is yet again another historical spot that will halt tourists from entering. Which I say, good. Don't let them in, dude. F us. We're all dumb. This is we're not going. Seriously, Japan trip canceled. We're not going now. You know where we're gonna go? We're gonna get Yellowstone. We're all gonna throw ourselves into the hot springs. Or an 18-year-old American lights 7 fires in Tokyo. That's you when you're denied Asian pussy. That was a stray. I'm sorry. That was a stray. He did this not just once, but 7 times in various parts of the region. One fire wasn't enough. I better do this 7 times in total. He was arrested after being caught lighting a fire in Nihonbashi. As the police began an investigation, they were able to tie 6 other nearby fires within 1.2-mile radius to the same person. Imagine lighting 7 fires, like barely over a mile. Most instances were trash can lit on fire. It's the same guy. When he was questioned by police, he told them that he did not remember anything that occurred. This man was arrested on charges of arson.
5 minutes ago, she never played piano. Can you believe she's been playing 1 week? And that's just 2 months.
This man was arrested on charges of arson and further investigation is underway. So at least he's arrested. Or the Torii Shrine gets destroyed with coins from tourists. In 2018, tourists inadvertently destroyed the Ikushima Shrine's Torii Gate. This story is placed in the middle of a bay, but is able to be visited up close when the tide is low. This is when tourists come to take photos and videos. The lower parts of the gate that are often submerged in water are noticeably damaged. Over time, tourists began shoving coins in these cracks in an attempt to bestow some kind of good luck. Not only does this donation technique fit with traditional donation practices, the cracks are being enlarged due to the coins and slowly destroying the Torii. Over time, it is believed the gate will be severely damaged if this practice continues, which we all know that it will. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna be destroyed because people are terrible. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about a couple who tried to steal over $1 million in wine. Or tourists. We're going to steal $1 million in wine. Last year, two tourists were in prison for stealing $1.6 million in bottled wine. Priscilla, a former Mexican beauty pageant star, and her partner, Constantine, stayed at a luxury hotel that was next door to Atria, a 3-Michelin star fine dining restaurant in Spain. After eating at the restaurant, they went on a group tour of the wine cellar, which featured vintage bottles that cost up to $371,000 a piece. Using the information from the tour, the two of them returned to their hotel room to plan their heist. It began with Priscilla ordering room service late in the night, around 2 a.m., when only one man was working the front desk. As he left to deliver it, her husband stole his key card and used it to gain access to the wine cellar. This is I was going to say a movie. You gotta believe that. They made off with 45 bottles of high-priced wine and escaped at around 5 a.m. They were ultimately caught and arrested at the Albanian-Croatian border. Both of them were sentenced to several years in prison for armed robbery and were forced to pay €753,000, which is basically $800,000. The couple has the ability to appeal the court's decision and seem to want to do so under the lawyer's claim that 45 bottles do not fit into 2 sports bags. This case is still ongoing. I mean, 45 bottles, Your Honor, into 2 Nike bags. Like, we have video footage of you. Please. All I know is this. Tourists are terrible. Like I said, I'm canceling my flights. We're not going. No more. We're not doing it. I'm never stepping into a zoo again. All I'm going to do is I'm going to sit in my house and I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry over the atrocities of the world and these tourists. And all I can do is beg God to forgive us all. I don't know. Tourists suck, dude. Here's a tip for you. If you're in Japan, don't run in front of geishas and try to take pictures like an idiot. Are you kidding me? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But until the next one, I'll see you then. Yeah, bye.
WVid. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna end stream here. And yeah. Embarrassing.